For the Diploma CET 2020 question paper solution for the branch Computer Science and Engineering, now this time I opted subject called DBMS, that is Database Management System. Every year from this subject they will ask 10 questions. Similarly, from previous year question paper, that is from DCET 2020 question paper, they asked 10 questions. Okay, and we will try to solve those 10 questions one by one. In that, the question number 161, the information stored in the DBMS catalog is called dash. We have 4 options. Option A, data. Option B, metadata. Option C, data model. And the option D is schema. Before answering the question number 161, first we have to know what is DBMS catalog is. What is DBMS catalog? A DBMS catalog is just like a storeroom where all the users and the administrators check the information regarding the databases. And this DBMS catalog contains the metadata. Then what is metadata? A metadata is data about data, and this metadata contains the, and it is used to describe the properties as well as the characteristics of some other data. Okay, for example, if you consider an image or picture of a flower, this is the image of flower. Okay, consider this is an image of flower. This is also a data. Okay, the flower image, this is also a data, and this flower image also contains some other data like format, okay, format and file name, okay, and also size of this image, and also when this image is created, when it is created, okay, and who is created this image, who is created likewise. What my point? What is metadata? Metadata is a data about data. That means this metadata is used to describe the properties and as well as the characteristics of some other data. Okay, in this example we are considering flower image. This is a data. For this flower image, it also contains some other data like format of this flower image, and also file name for this flower image, and also size of this image, and when this image is created, and also who is created this image. For this flower image, I am giving the name as rose, and format for this image is, we are giving it as JPG format, and also this image contains the size of say 1 MB of memory this image is having. Okay, when it is created in the year 2021. Okay, who is created? Name Amog is created. Got my point? What is metadata? Metadata is a data about data. Here flower image is a data. This flower image contains some other data like format of this image, file name for this image, size for this image, and also when this image is created, who is created this image, like that. But for this image I am giving a file name as rose, and format for this image is I am giving it as JPG. Okay, and also size of this image is 1 MB, and this image is created in the year 2021, and also Amog is created this image. This is called as metadata. Okay. If you consider in DBMS, a metadata is represented like this. In DBMS, if you consider a student marks table, in DBMS, if you consider a student marks table, in student marks table, we have name attribute and also subject like physics, chemistry, and maths, and also biology. Here name, physics, chemistry, maths and biology, these are called as attributes, and also these name, physics, chemistry, maths and biology, these are also called as metadata. These are also called as metadata. Okay. And I am considering a student name as John. Okay. John got out of 10, he got 10 marks in physics and 9 marks in chemistry and 8 marks in mathematics and also 7 marks in biology. Similarly, I am considering another student called Harry. Harry is the student name. Out of 10, he got 9 marks in physics, 10 marks in chemistry, 8 marks in mathematics and 10 marks in biology. Here John, Harry, 10, 9, 9, 10, 8, 8, 7, 10. These are called as data entries, and these data entries are also called as data. These are also called as data. Got my point? In DBMS, if we consider a table of student marks, this is the student marks table. This is the student marks table. In student marks table, we have data as well as metadata. Here the metadata are name, physics, chemistry, maths and biology. Similarly, in this table the datas are John, Harry, 10, 9, 9, 10, 8, 8, 7, 10. These are called as data. That means if you consider a John, he got 10 marks. Here 10 is the data. For which subject he got 10 marks? For physics. Here physics is the metadata. 10 is the data. 10 is the data, right? For which subject he got 10 marks? That is in physics. Here physics is the metadata, 10 is the data. Got my point? So for question number 161, option B, metadata is the right answer. That is option B, metadata is the right answer for question number 161. The question number 162, the capacity to change the schema at one level without having to change the schema at next higher level is called dash. Option A, data dependence. Option B, data independence. Option C, logical independence. Option D, physical independence. For question number 162, option B, that is data independence, is the right answer. Why? Because if we change the schema at the lower level, then it will not affect to the schema present at next higher level. That means higher level schema, that is the schema present at higher level. Present at higher level is independent of schema present at lower level. Present at lower level. That means if we change the schema at the lower level, then it will not affect to the schema present at higher level. That means both are independent to each other. So for question number 162, option B, data independence, is the right answer. Move on to question number 169. A transaction is delimited by the statements of the form. We have four options. Option A, begin transaction and end transaction. Option B, start transaction and stop transaction. Option C, get transaction and post transaction. And option D, read transaction and the write transaction. What is transaction? A transaction, it is the unit of program execution which changes the content of database. And here the changing of content of database is starts from begin transaction. Similarly, the changing of content of database is ended by using the statement called end transaction. So for question number 169, option A, begin transaction and end transaction, is the right answer. The question number 163, the total number of attributes in a relation is called its dash. Option A, degree. Option B, cardinality. Option C, rows. Option D, columns. In this question, the relation is also called as table. That means both are same. In a relational database, the data is stored in the form of table. That means the table contains rows and columns. Each row in a table is called as tuple or record. Similarly, each column in a table is called as attribute. For example, if you consider a table of student, if you consider a student table, in student table we have attributes and as well as tuples. Okay, here the roll number, name, city, subject and marks If you consider a table of a student, in student table we have roll number, name, city, subject and marks. These are called as attributes. 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 In student table we have datas, like in this example I am considering only 3 students, so we are having only 3 roll numbers. The first student name is John, the second student name is Harry, and the third student name is Peter. Okay, and the John is belonging to the city called New York, and Harry is belonging to the city called Sydney, and Peter is belonging to London. And also the John's favorite subject is physics, and he got 90 marks out of 100. Similarly, Harry's favorite subject is chemistry, and he got 92 marks out of 100. The third student name is Peter. His favorite subject is mathematics. Okay, and he got 95 marks out of 100. Okay, here in this student table we have 5 columns. First column, second column, third column, fourth column and fifth column. In this example we are having 5 columns. So we are having 5 attributes. We are having 5 attributes. Why? Each column in a table is called as one attribute. Each column in a table is called as one attribute. So totally we have 5 attributes. The attributes are roll number, name, city, subject and marks. Similarly, in this example, in this table, we are having 3 tuples. This is one tuple, okay, and also this is one tuple, and also this is one tuple. We are having 3 tuples. We are having 3 tuples. Each row in a table is called as tuple. So we are having 3 rows. So 3 tuples we are having in this student table. Similarly, 5 attributes are present in this student table. And the total number of attributes in a relation is called its. The total number of attributes in a relation is called as degree. That is, option A is the right answer. The total number of attributes in a relation or in a table is called as degree. In this student table we are having 5 attributes. So its degree is 5. Its degree is 5. Why? Because in this student table we are having 5 attributes. The total number of attributes in a table is called its degree. So in this table we are having 5 attributes. So its degree is 5. So for question number 163, option A, degree is the right answer. Similarly, the total number of tuples in a table is called its cardinality. The total number of tuples present in a table is called its cardinality. In this student table we are having 3 tuples. So its cardinality is 3. Cardinality is 3. Got my point? So for question number 163, option A, degree is the right answer. The question number 164, the 2 ways in which the entities can participate in a relationship is option A, active and passive, option B, total and partial, option C, simple and complex, and option D, all of the above. Here the entities can participate in a relationship in 2 ways. The first one is called as total participation. The first one is called as total participation. In total participation, each entity in entity set must compulsorily participate in at least one relationship, and this total participation is indicated by double line. Similarly, the second way is called as partial participation. Partial participation. Okay, in partial participation, each entity in entity set may or may not be participate in relationship, and this is indicated by single line. I am repeating it once again. The entities can participate in relationship in 2 ways. The first one is called as total participation. In total participation, each entity in entity set must compulsorily participate in at least one relationship, and this total participation is indicated by double line, and the second one is partial participation. Here each entity in entity set may or may not be participate in a relationship, okay, and this partial participation is indicated by single line. For example, consider a customer, okay, buys, customer buy, okay, buy and product. Okay. Okay. In this example, here the customer and the product are called as entities. Here the customer and the product are called as entities, okay, and also the entities are represented by rectangle. So the customer and the product are represented by rectangle, okay, and here by is the relationship, by is the relationship, and relationship is represented by diamond, okay. Here the customer and the product are the entities and by is the relationship, okay. Here in customer entity we are having, for example, consider we are having three customers, that is customer 1, customer 2 and customer 3. We are having three customers in customer entity. Similarly, in product entity we are having three products, that is product A, product B and product C. We are having three products, okay. Here the customer 1 buys product 1, product A and as well as product B. The customer 1 buys product A as well as product B, okay. Similarly, the customer 2 buys single product, that is product C, but the customer 3 is not buying any product. So in customer by relationship is indicated by single line. Why? Because out of three customers only 2 customers are buying the product, and the customer 3 is not participating in any relationship called buy. So this is indicated by single line, okay. In partial participation, each entity in entity set may or may not participate in the relationship. Here the customer 1 and the customer 2 are the only 2 entities are participating in the relationship, that means they are buying the product, but the customer 3 is not participating in the relationship, that means the customer 3 is not buying any product. So the customer by relationship is indicated by single line, okay. Similarly, here the product A, product B and product C, all these products are bought by the customer 1 and 2. So this is indicated by double line. Why? Because all these products must compulsorily participating in a relationship. That means all these products are bought by the customers. That means, so we are indicating double line. We are representing the double line between buy and product. Got my point? In total participation, each entity in the entity set must compulsorily participate in a relationship. Here the product A, product B and product C, all these products are participating in a relationship. That means all these three products are bought by the customers. So it is indicated by double line between product and the buy relationship. But in customer buy relationship, out of 3 customers, only 2 customers are buying the products, and the third customer, that is customer 3, is not buying any product. So the customer in customer buy relationship, it is indicated by single line. The single line indicates the partial participation and the double line indicates the total participation. So for question number 164, option B, that is total and partial, is the right answer.